And welcome to the show. Welcome to Solutions Live. This is the live broadcast where we focus on us minding our own business. Guys, we have a great show for you tonight. Bear with me for 2 seconds. I was having some troubles. No, I'm always having some issues with this thing, aren't I? There's always something with trying to embed the codes. You guys know that I am the camera girl, the engineer, the publicist, the marketing and advertisement. Um, I'm everything for the show, right? So the show goes because I make it go. The show runs because I make it run. And that's just what it is. It's okay. While I am funneling around on codes and things like that, I want to thank you all for tuning in to tonight's episode. I really appreciate every single viewer, every single second you take out of your time to click on the links and watch our show. The purpose of Solutions Live, if you don't already know, if you're not familiar, the purpose of this show is so that we, people who are this color, us brown folks or black folks or African descent folks, it is so that we can address our challenges and our situations and issues that go on amongst ourselves, our families, and our communities, and begin to not just discuss them, but bring solutions to the table so that we can overcome some of our challenges, and so that hopefully the generations to follow after us will be better than we are. So that is the goal. That is the goal, guys, and we always want to make that our focus. So many times you see so many different shows, and whether it's radio, TV, whatever it is, you see so many different things, and people just discuss what the problems are. And I'm not, quote unquote, hating on anyone. I am just simply saying that we have to do more than just talk. So hopefully when you get a chance to join the Solutions Live show, you will also have the opportunity, or find yourself with having the opportunity to come up with solutions, do some homework, so that we can be better tomorrow than what we were yesterday. Now, I am, and of course, you all don't know what it takes to do this. In the background, literally just a few moments ago, one of my children, and I'm like, it's 7 o'clock. You can't walk past here. So, and just a few minutes before that, my granddaughter and my toddler were moping around and moseying around and messing with things. And just about 20 minutes ago, I was ready to take a nap. So you see, we're all human here, having all these different human experiences, including myself. And so this stuff happens. This is real life. This is not on TV. This is Solutions Live. Okay. That means the live things happen, human being things happen. And I don't make it such a pressed situation that everything is perfect. In a situation where human beings run a show, it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, so updating codes for everyone's viewing. Okay, she'll be good to go. Good to go, right? All right. Now, tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about some balanced health. solutions, and we're going to be talking about some of the reasons or some of the issues behind the imbalances in our lives with our health and our wellness, and come up with some solutions. How can we fix ourselves so that we can be better? Okay, let me go back on the screen so I can see you guys what you type. Okay, I'll be able to see you guys nice and clearly. Whatever it is you type. And we do, of course, as always, always have a special guest. Why? Because we love you guys. And so we can't go on air without having some special guest co-hosts. And this Solutions Live show, by the way, this is an opportunity for everyone to have a platform. Every time we see other news shows and TV shows, you only hear from people that other people know. But what good is that? And isn't it overrated by now? We need to hear from people who are everyday men and women who are holding down a fort, who are raising these babies, who are going to work in these jobs and things like that. Not just the people who are on the political platforms that are loaded with money, that are riding around, talking the talk and looking the look, but they're not living this life every day. They're not out here in the trenches. And not to say all of them, just some of them, just some of the people. Not all of the people, not at all am I saying that. So, just wanting us to make sure that we do something a little bit different. Because in my opinion, we need something different. We need a different experience. Okay, so I think that there is a delay. Yeah, there is. There always seems to be a delay between when I see your comments and when I'm speaking. So just so you know, I welcome everyone to the Solutions Live show, and you can feel free to type your questions or comments at any time. If there's something for us to address, we will address it, and we'll go from there. But do know that there is a few second delay in that. So without further ado, I almost forgot to remind you guys our commercial, right? So, I'm going to tell you about this conference. Ladies only, sorry guys. In May 17th through the 19th, we had the Natural Birth, Natural Body Conference. This is a phenomenal conference, ladies. You do not want to miss it. This year's theme for the Natural Birth and Natural Body Conference is the release, the rebirth, the revolution. Again, that's May 17th through May 19th at Imhotep Charter High School in Philadelphia, PA. You're going to go to www.nbnbconference.com to go ahead and get some more information. We'll be updating the website as we go along with more of our workshop presenters, their bios, and some of the information regarding the workshops, as well as some of our sponsors will also be listed on the website. You will also be able to come to the Natural Birth, Natural Body Conference and enjoy shopping in our Saucony marketplace. This is an all-female, Black-owned business vending marketplace. We are very dedicated here on the Solutions Live show to supporting Black-owned businesses. In fact, our goal here on Solutions Live show is to support and promote 500 Black-owned businesses for 2019 by the end of the year. So please do call us or text us at 856-514-1418. That's 856-514-1418. If you are interested in us advertising your business here, we are really, really pressed for that. That is very, very important to us here. So please, please, please do call that number or give that number a text. Again, that's 856-514-1418. And that's for you to contact Solutions Live show in order for your business to be advertised. So again, the Natural Birth, Natural Body Conference is also dedicated to supporting and promoting Black-owned businesses. And so all of our female vendors for the Natural Birth, Natural Body Conference are Black-owned business women, okay? And we love to have unique vendors, so we never like to duplicate any of the vendors. We will have halal Zabiha food. We will also have vegan food for our sisters who attend the conference who do not eat meat. We understand, and we want to make sure that everyone can eat at this conference. We'll have great workshops talking about stress management, black women, our beauty image, embracing our curves, gaining more confidence. Of course, we'll talk about natural birth, home birth, breastfeeding challenges, the challenges of being the mother of a preemie, moms of multiple children in big households. We're going to talk a little bit about everything, ladies, eating healthy and give out some great recipes, perhaps belly dancing or African dance workshop, or maybe even we may even have a small workout workshop. Okay, so we're going to have so much fun. This is baby and child friendly, as long as you know how to keep your baby and child in check. Yes, I said it that way, from one Black mama to another. As long as you know how to keep your babies and children in check, they are fine and they are welcome at this event. You are going to check back on the website again, www.nbnbconference.com, very soon for more details. And check us out for the prices. And if you're interested in vending, give us a contact as soon as possible. I'm going to take a coffee sip. Okay, guys. And since I took a little sip of coffee, why not do a commercial, right? So if you don't know already, you're going to know that if you don't know already, you're going to know now that I also in a minute, guys. Just checking in with our co-hosts. Okay. I'm always trying to do so much at one time. Okay, so I completely forgot what I was saying. I was saying that, you know, my coffee break is being brought to you by my coffee that I do sell. It is the bomb. I've been in business with this company for 4 years. I absolutely love it. If you have never tasted my coffee, I promise you want to taste it. So tonight's coffee is King Coffee. It's an organic coffee, and it is nice and strong. It's black. It's I don't even know. It's nice, robust, smooth flavor. It's awesome. And mocha. So I like to put those two together. Those are my favorite together. And the mocha is like a nice little chocolate. It actually already comes with non-dairy creamer and sugar already in a packet. It's like this. That's what the packet's like. And for those of you who just like coffee with cream and sugar, and that's it, this is my mom's favorite, the latte. She gets that all the time. This is by far, hands down, the best coffee you will ever have in your entire life. And it is the healthiest coffee that you will ever taste in your entire life. Why? Because number one, it helps to rehydrate the body. It delivers over 200 vitamins and minerals in every single cup that you put in your throat. Okay, so this coffee is unlike any other coffee that you've ever tasted. Your average cup of coffee that you all get when you go to Wawa and McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts and all them places, it takes 17 cups of water to rehydrate your body after you've drank one of those cups of coffee. I just want to let y'all know that this is totally opposite. So if you want to get with me, find out about my coffee. It is delicious, and I'm just going to keep sipping it anyway during the show because this is what I'm feeling tonight. That's how I feel. Okay. So we are looking for our lovely guest co-host. I'll introduce her. This beautiful sister is a business owner. I've been seeing her around for a while, actually. And the name of her business is called balancedwellnessnews.com. Okay, it says balancedwellnessnews.com. And she is the owner operator of this particular business. And her name is Sister Aziz. If you are trying to reach her for any particular reason, you're going to hear more from her on what her business is about right now on the show. She's also going to give you guys a little insight on some solutions to your everyday imbalances. Her number to feel free and text her at is 571-418-2299. I'll repeat that. That's 471-418-2299. And that's going to be Sister Aziz's phone number at balancedwellnessnews.com. Okay, so let's see where she is here. Shall we? I do not know where she is. Let's find her. This is like hide and seek sometimes. You know, when I first got started doing the show and we first started getting on the air, I couldn't figure out how to do this by myself, how to get on the air and how to put everyone on here. But I figured it out. But sometimes it gets a little tricky if I do it before we actually go live. So it's okay though. Like I said before, we're human beings and life is real. And so I'm having a live human being experience because I am alive and I am a human being. So boom, there you go. Okay. So meanwhile, until she comes on air, let's check out a couple things. Like, where the heck am I? I'm like, how come I can't just find? It's really being a headache today. And it happens. I want to take a moment while we're waiting for our guest co-host to also remind you all that Solutions Live is dedicated to the homeless survival kits distribution. And we are still raising money for this. We are still raising money for the next, which would be our second homeless survival kit distribution. We really, really, really want you to, I don't know what's happening. We really, really want you to donate. How much our goal for how much we need to raise is going to be, now it's $920 because we raised $80. And alhamdulillah, we are grateful for that amount. I mean, we're grateful for any amount. There's no ungratefulness here. But some of the things that we were able to put in these homeless survival kits before were washcloths, soap. Whoa, okay. That was feedback, wasn't it? So, we were putting in there things like washcloths, deodorant, soap, body wash, lotion, shampoo, conditioner. What else, guys? We had so many things in there. We had water bottles and peanut butter crackers and granola bars and ponchos and foil blankets and Vaseline for the lips and walaikum salam.
Salam alaikum. I don't know what happened. I've been here, but for some reason, I don't know.
Okay, all right. I don't know what was going on. I didn't see you or hear you for a long time.
Right. And so my husband was streaming it on the other one, and he was kind of like, I don't know why you're not there. But yeah, I was sitting here looking at myself, but listening to you doing an amazing job on the other end. So
thank you. I'm gonna tie up about the homeless survival kits really quickly so the people can know what's going on with that.
Yes.
So for the homeless survival kits, guys, if you can donate any funds, we also gave out actual blankets, nice size fleece blankets. We had twin size blankets, and these were really nice quality blankets that we were able to give out. And we're only able to do right now for the $1,000 budget. We're able to do 50 homeless survival kits. That's actually not a lot, but it is something. Something that's always better than nothing. It's cold outside, so I want you all to remember the people when you lay in your bed tonight and you're warm and you're comfortable under a roof. Okay, so if you are interested at any time in donating, whether it's a gently used and clean blanket, do not give us dirty blankets. I promise you, I'm not washing blankets. I have 10 children. I'm not washing your blankets. Wash the blankets. Okay, so if you wash your blankets, if you have some gently used or new blankets that you would like to donate, gently used or new pillows that you would like to donate. We also gave out pillows the last time. Or if you would like to give a cash donation towards the now $920 budget that we have left, our goal that we have left to fulfill, so we can get all of those goodies in that bag. And we also want to add, by the way, mesh underwear and hats, knitted skull cap hats for outdoors. So you can either contact us at 856-514-1418. Again, that's 856-514-1418. You can drop us a quick text or call that number, or you can always email me, and you can email me right here at the Solutions Live email address. That's solutionsbroadcast with the S at the end at gmail.com. That's SOLUTIONSBROADCASTS at gmail.com. That was a lot. I don't know why I felt like that was so much longer than what it was. But anyway, guys, make sure you reach out. And hey, remember, if you are watching the show right now, please click subscribe. Click like and subscribe to our YouTube channels. Help us get our numbers up so that we can monetize the page. Okay, guys? All right, so without further ado, I already gave a little small preview of the small intro, for our guest co-host. But again, this beautiful young lady we are going to introduce is Sister Aziz, and she is the owner and operator of BalancedWellnessNews.com. Ladies and gentlemen, she is here. She is live in the flesh. We welcome you to the Solutions Live broadcast. And we are waiting to hear everything that you've got to say and everything that you have to share with us. Welcome.
Mashallah, shukran, jazakallah khair, assalamu alaikum, greetings of peace be unto all. It's a blessing to be here. I love what you're doing. And I think we're just at such a vital moment in time. Listening to what you're sharing with the homeless population, that's a cause I've been in the midst of for so long. I've had many people tell me to stop doing some of the things that I do, like, you're going to get hurt. But alhamdulillah, if we have faith, we're duty bound to really serve our community. So I definitely salute you, because most of us don't realize that we're no better than the weakest among us. And so we've got to serve. And if we don't serve, we're going to pay, whether we realize it or not. We're going to pay. And it's a hefty price that none of us wants to pay. So we got to serve our people.
Absolutely.
Indeed. But yeah, so we're in pretty much a process where we're in a state of emergency across the board when it comes to health and wellness. We live day in and day out toxic modern lifestyles. And it's scary because we've gotten to a point that I think we think it's normal. We think it's normal to have a headache. It's so common. I hear people say, oh, I didn't sleep well last night. Oh, I have this problem. Oh, I take this many medications. And it's not normal. But it has become the norm, though it's actually a sign of dis-ease. And it's really a result of being imbalanced. So I didn't sign up to become the guru of health and wellness. That wasn't the plan. I basically ended up getting really, really ill. and the medical model of care could not diagnose what was wrong. They just basically were saying, oh, your vision is gone now, and it probably is a sign that you'll end up being permanently blind, and pretty much you're gonna die. And that was all the way back in 1998. And clearly, Allahu Alam, Allah knows best. And they did not. And I'm here by virtue of Allah's mercy, but thankful and grateful to the fact that I had been grown up in such a way to know that the medical model of care really wasn't necessarily the best thing to rely on and put our faith and trust in. So I started pulling out those books that I had and go into what I knew. And it was just a blessing that, you know, every step of the way, the journey kept continuing, learning more and more in so many different areas. And it kind of became a joke because so many people would call me and say, yeah, you know, I have a friend and she has this problem. What can you whip up for her? Yeah. And, you know, this whole thing got born. Initially, it was natural head to toe. And we did all of these natural hair and natural beauty because we realized that as a community, we tend to be focused on our beauty regimens. And we do it to really such a religious way that we harm our health. But we're not cognizant of it because most of us don't know that hair is skin, scalp is skin. Literally what you put on your hair, what you put on your skin is the equivalent of taking a spoon and putting it to your mouth. But we're not taught to think like that. So even with myself, I actually have my shower filter right here because we were just chuckling and just having a conversation on just how the difference is of knowing that when I'm taking a shower, I'm not bathing in all of the chemicals. Like even when I go swimming, I don't swim in a chlorine pool anymore because after you know, it's kind of like, no, I wouldn't do that. Like, why would I teach all of the problems with chlorine and then go work out to then go swim in chlorine? But most of us, we don't really know. And so not knowing is the biggest issue for most of us, as opposed to what you constantly hear people say is that old people don't care about their health. No, we wouldn't go and pay for these water bottles, right? If we didn't care, but the misinformation is so far and wide that we believe that going and buying this plastic water bottle that has BPA that they now will admit to, but they just fail to tell us that there's 24,000 other chemicals that you don't want to drink in that same plastic.
Right. Yep. So
we want to do better, but it's the matter of connecting the dots. So what we've done with Balanced Wellness News, which is also affiliated with growcommunitywellness.com, all working together to bridge the gap, is focus on nutrition that's bioavailable, energy disrupting, not being something that's going to keep harming us, meaning your cell phones, your Wi-Fi, all of these things that are around us that separate us from the natural energies that we used to just naturally be involved with. You think of children, when we were coming up, we used to go outside and play. Most children nowadays, they're stuck inside. And what soil are they going to play in? What grass is there that doesn't have Roundup and all of these chemicals? It's scary. And then you look at the water having so many chemicals. I get a chance to go into a lot of homes and people think that, oh, I have well water. Oh, I have this water system I paid 10 grand for. And by the time we've tested the water, they're sitting there like, no, I guess what I thought I had is not really what I have, because we're showing them all the toxins and poisons. And it's scary because really water should be 75% of what we are. But if what we're drinking isn't real water, we're suffering in a major way. And then sleep. Sleep is the time our body is designed to heal and repair itself. Most of us don't get 6 or more hours of sleep, period. And most of it isn't deep restorative sleep. So if we're not getting that REM sleep, we're not sleeping. And most of us have Wi-Fi, cell phones, all of these things that as soon as the body starts trying to go down, there's something that's doing an energy disruption that's pulling you right back up out of it. So really, when you look at the medical reports, they're basically the shows that you see talking about zombies. That's where we're headed in mass.
That's what we are. I think we're already there, honestly.
Scarily so. But to really look at just how pervasive it is, it's scary. And then to know that the solutions aren't that hard to get. I mean, I have a water bottle right here that I carry all the time. And I'll take that toxic water that I might be if I'm like out and about, and I'll put it into it. But because I have the filter, it's a Japanese-based tool, it's taking out all the chemicals, the toxins and poisons. for just cents a dollar. So, you know, the solutions are within our reach, but it's a matter of having help to make sure that our community knows. Like we were talking about Flint during the time that nobody even knew about Flint, and we were actively engaging. And it was scary to me because people were suggesting sending those cheap, toxic plastic bottles that they knew would leach BPA to the community. And I'm saying, well, that's the way to get them worse, because if their immune systems are already suppressed, you don't want to send them toxic water. But then you could see that it was really a gentrification model, that they wanted those people sick. They wanted those people not to live there. And the suffering just continued.
Shamefully.
So, you know, I could talk all day. So I was trying to behave.
So one of the things that I'm always embedding the codes all over the place. I'm constantly doing it. But when I first go on the air, I let the audience know that I'm the host. I'm also the engineer, the tech support. I'm the marketing, advertising. So I'm all of the things.
Yes. Super women we are, right?
But one of the things that I wanted to mention about the water that's really interesting is that our fish can't even live in it. So we used to have a fish tank, and the fish kept dying. They weren't being overfed. They weren't being mistreated. Nothing was happening to these fish except for they went in our water from our tap.
Oh, yeah.
The water wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. We didn't boil the fish. Okay. None of that craziness. We just put our water that we make wudu with, that we brush our teeth with, that we shower with, in the fish tank, and the fish kept dying.
Scary.
And so it is scary, because when the fish die, we're like, okay, what's going on with the water? So we test the water. There's too much nitrate. That was one of the main things that was killing the fish. It was the levels of nitrate was ridiculous, and so we had to, of course, now you got to add the different things, the little chemicals to the water to balance the water. And what I wanted to say about that is that if we see that is the issue with the fish, then we can only imagine what it's doing to our body, because too much nitrate isn't good for Black folks anyway. It really messes up a lot of our organs. And so if it's killing a fish, even if it's not killing us as fast as it killed the fish in 2 or 3 days from the fish store to the house, it's still killing us slowly. And like you said, it's all around it. Like you said, in our sleep, you know?
Yes. And the aches, the pains, all the symptoms that people talk about and they take as normal, oftentimes are directly related to them not having real water. I mean, it is so scary to see the numbers of people. We've just simply just get on a nutrition, energy, water, sleep program with us, and let's see what happens. And I already know what's going to happen, but I always want to let them know I'm not practicing medicine. I just know that how the body works. And the body's designed to heal and repair itself when you give it balanced wellness. And so simple solutions, you have people who have suffered with chronic conditions, and then all of a sudden the body starts rebounding and doing what anyone should know the body's designed to do. But it's scary because the misinformation is so huge that people just think, hey, I have this diagnosis and this is going to be my lot in life, and I'm just going to pop these pills. And it's like, do you know all the side effects? And we typically don't.
And the thing is people have gotten so prone to saying, instead of me even trying to figure out what's wrong with me, let me just call the doctor and ask them. So we don't even think for ourselves
at all.
And that's a huge part. That's a whole nother show. But the fact that
the biggest part of it, though, it's how we've been trained. Because I have so many clients of mine who are medically model trained, but they don't follow the prescriptions that they write for other people for their own family. They will call me and say, hey, what you got for me? Hey, what kind of tinctures can we do? Hey, what kind of food? Because I'm cross-trained. I'm a farmer. I do different tinctures. I do a lot of different pieces. But it's been comical because the simple tools from this Japanese model have been the best in terms of efficacy that we've ever had, in terms of people who've had histories of preterm labors, getting them on simple lactoferrin, water, sleep, energy tools, and then we're going all the way full term with a pregnancy. Huge. When you're saying consistently, these problems, no one can find the solutions. And then you're seeing consistently person after person after person success. So it's clearly we're just disconnected from the way we used to live. There was a time we didn't have problems with all of this, but it's because we're not sleeping in houses that have dirt floors anymore. We got concrete. Right. So there's no connection to the energy of the earth magnetism anymore. We're completely disrupted. And then we have Wi-Fi in our houses and we think it's cool. We walk around with cell phones, cordless phones. I cringe. My husband laughs at me because I'll see a woman walking around with a cell phone. I'm like trying to make sure I get to talk to her like, please, Lord, because I know she doesn't know. Because if you really just, every time I ask them, like, you know, if you wear that there, you know, that's just begging for cancer later. You know, is that the goal? And they look at me like, well, no, of course not.
Right. But I mean, the thing is, are you hearing me?
Yes, most definitely.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought my sound went out. I didn't hear anything for a second. But you know, one of the things is that I don't know. I don't even know what it is other than to say it's an addiction when it comes to the devices.
It is.
You know, and they've made it an addiction, you know,
by design.
Whether people want to say government, whether people want to say it's the elite, whoever people want to feel like, some people just say, oh, it's just the devil, period. Whatever it is that people want to claim, it is most definitely meant to be the addiction that it has become. They took away all the pay phones. They took away your landlines. They took away the need for your landlines. They made sure that you think about how slowly all of the stores, nobody had change for the pay phones. Slowly, it just became a thing. Nobody wanted to give you change for the pay phones, and they took the pay phones away shortly after they took the pagers away. So, you know, this was definitely the plan.
Very much.
And because we rely on these tools so much, it's become an addiction, and it's become an addiction so much so that, in my opinion, it interrupts our brain waves anyway. And according to some other people's opinions also, it interrupts our brain waves. Okay. So we actually don't even think the same, just simply because of the fact that we're constantly holding these devices.
Oh yeah.
And like you said, sleeping with them and things like that. I was really out of a habit of putting it on my bed for a while. And now I don't know, I kind of went back to having it on my bed. And I know I shouldn't, but it was like, oh, I needed to be near because the phone rings at a weird time, and
be there when you get up.
You know, so it's a little difficult. And for me, I run a lot of my businesses basically e-commerce, or you know, from online from my phone. So my phone is literally my business, literally. Right. So when that's the case, now you're always finding yourself holding that phone. And one thing that I started to notice a while back, maybe like about 2 years ago, I used to always put my phone in my Kmart, and you know,
I've been there.
I know a lot of our sisters, you know, can relate, right? We stick that thing right in that phone, in that Kmart, and that's our hands-free device.
Yeah.
And what started happening was I could feel like a little headache sensation, a little tingling after a while, and I started realizing it's because I had the phone to my face. And so when I started using the earpiece, immediately I saw a difference. I immediately saw a difference. And what I know too from the earpiece is the earpiece will eventually hurt my ears also, because you're still getting some of that radiation. It's still a lot of proximity. You're still getting some radiation. There's still a lot of stuff even going through the earpieces, actually. There's still a lot of brainwave disturbances just because it's connected to the device, is connected to the internet, which is connected to global radiation and things like that. So, you know, there's so many disturbances in that we're not even thinking consciously. We're, you know, like it's intentionally and purposely making us stupid. You know what I mean? We can't even, we don't remember phone numbers anymore.
Oh yeah. Which is so crazy, because I used to be everybody's phone book coming up. And so I chuckle when little children act like they don't know. I'm like, no, these are basic skills. Everyone is supposed to have these skills to memorize these numbers. But it's by design. I mean, I've actually looked at the medical research. I have experts who I've worked with who actually study that stuff. And so it actually sends out chemicals looking in the screens. So you should, an hour before bed, no screen devices at all. You know, in my case, for my house, and I mean, I'm a software engineer by education as well. but I had to take all the Wi-Fi out. We ran the old school Etherline cords through the house. It's not worth it, because when you look at the data and see what it's doing to our bodies, unless, I mean, and there's some people who might say, hey, they just like cancer. I'm not one of those people. Some people might want mental disruptions and all of that. I haven't met any yet, but I can, you know, there could be. I'll give them somebody the benefit of the doubt if they want to be. But for anyone who wants to live a life and live it well, and it's even scarier for the children, because it's stopping them from actually getting neurological development. So they're not even getting an opportunity. A lot of your stillbirths, it's because that baby never had a chance, because mama had that cell phone, mama had that Wi-Fi, but we're not making the connection that it's not because the mother had a problem. The lifestyle of energy disruptions around her, environmental things, didn't give life a chance to develop and grow. It's scary.
And one thing that a lot of people don't think about, not to go too far into the cell phone thing, but the fact that there is a magnetic disturbance in that cell phone, radio wave disturbances, and all these different frequency disturbances, right, in that cell phone that don't resonate with our own natural brainwave patterns and functioning, right? The fact that there is that disturbance there means that it's going to interrupt also how our blood flows through our body. The oxygenated blood is going to affect also how our organs operate. So the kidneys, and so even if a person, because some people will say, well, you know, we've been having these cell phones for the last couple of decades and nobody's really getting cancer, even though I beg to differ, because everybody's getting cancer, to be honest with you. Everybody's getting cancer. It's like just a thing to have or something.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's like that. But when we're looking at all of that, we actually have to start asking ourselves, what is the issue? People are so in love with the phone, though, that instead of saying it could possibly be the phone, they would rather say, oh, it's probably just that herbal pill that I took, it didn't sit right. You know, and I've heard people will blame a supplement for something going on with their body before they'll blame the thing that's obviously unnatural to be on our skin and near our bodies. So that's an interesting thing in of itself, you know.
But it shows the way we're being wired. And it's not like we're coming up with these ideas. And that's why even with my family, we kind of had to process, like, well, why are we doing this? And then when you realize that it is an addiction and you understand the actual chemicals that are being released in your brain every time you're looking at the devices, it's like, okay. And so we joked about it. It's like, okay, clearly we're addicts. We're going to stop. And you have to treat yourself the same way a Crackheads Anonymous, and Narcotics Anonymous, everybody else anonymous, is Technology Anonymous, and just stop doing it for a period of time. And then watch how different your body feels. Like when I'm sitting here talking to you now, I have what we call a cocoon, and I chuckle because I always keep my power band, which has the energy of the sun, the magnetics, always on, because I know that I want my body to stay strong. I always have my insoles on because they have the energy of the sun, the magnetics. Once you realize that there's a better way to live and you feel your body stronger, it's like, no, why would I ever? Like I have friends, they chuckle with me because it'll be like, oh wait, no, I need to put my socks on and put my insoles inside. And they're like, they're not just for your shoes. No, not for me, because I want the energy of the earth with me at all times, because I just know my body has been through so much for so long. I grew up in New York City. So cell phone, Wi-Fi, everything all around, concrete jungle on high. So can only imagine the toll compared to what our ancestors would have had, who they didn't have any of these issues or problems. Big difference.
Yeah. Different. So I want to ask you to tell us more about the water bottle that you have and the water. There are so many people now that are, alhamdulillah, actually becoming more aware of our different health issues and how can we overcome some of these health challenges, and which is a great thing, but we have so many people who still don't know. So can you give us some good details? Because the water bottle alone sounds like it could be very effective.
Yes, indeed. So we have actually 3 different water purification filters. One is the sports bottle, which is right here. And literally what it's doing, you're pouring the water in, bad water in, and clean water comes out. But in addition to it being purified, you're also getting magnetization of the water, which is huge for microclustering it. So that way the water is literally getting into the cellular level, which for me was huge, because typically I would drink water, what I thought was water, fake water. All the things that you buy thinking it's water. I used to, spend money to buy these waters from people. It was a waste of money because it wasn't doing anything. You would drink it and it would come right out of me. Whereas I noticed the difference when I started drinking the water through our filters is that I would drink it and I wouldn't have to run to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. The water would just sit with me, and it was obviously being absorbed because you could feel my skin right after. And my skin would end up immediately being supple. My hair texture started changing. And I was like, oh, wow. So this is a huge difference. Same thing with the shower filter, taking out the chemicals, so that way a lot of people, when they have breathing issues and stuff like that, I always laugh after they get it home because I already know what's going to happen. Yeah. I always want to let them know, like, I'm not allowed to know what I want you to see what it's going to do, but I want you to understand what it's doing. And so with the mineralization and everything that it's pulling out, all of the bad and all of the good that it's putting in, my husband and I chuckle because there's no need for lotions and butters. I make all of these lotions and butters, and it's like, you notice we don't really have to use much of anything anymore because now we're hydrated. But we're approaching it from a balanced system now with nutrition that's bioavailable from the same Japanese tools, energy, just like this, the energy of the sun, the magnetics, as well as when we're talking about the water, we also have the waterfall, which is the countertop model, which is right here. Same thing, you just pour it in. And what I love, a lot of the systems that you'll see that a lot of other companies have, they're really expensive and they're not really doing much. They'll say, oh, it's alkalizing water. That's nice. But I can put something inside the water to alkalize the water.
Right.
Pulling out all the negative stuff. What good are you putting it into? How is it actually going to get into my system? Is it microclustered? Is it mineralized? And most other systems don't come anywhere near that. So literally, we have a lot of people whose homes they're wealthy, and we chuckle because they spent all this money and they're acting like they did something. And we test it, and they're sitting there like, guess not. So I need those instead. And it's always a big joke because it's like, no. And it's even scarier when people think that well water is good. As a farmer, I'm really into these things because for me, it became a solution to my own fight to try to get well. And so you chuckle because you're at these conferences and you see all these things. And I'm like, there's no way I would want to drink water, right, that has all of those chemicals and then think that I'm going to be healthy afterwards. Common sense says you're not. So with these filters, we're actually able to know you put the bad in, you get on the opposite side, good, clean, healthy water that's mineralized, microclustered, and it's also pH balanced. So that way your body isn't having to deal with that acidic water going in, which is another issue.
Almost like a water dialysis.
Exactly. I like that. I like that analogy. Yes. Okay. Bad water in, good water out. Not the pain and anguish.
Right. Yeah, you're not weak for days afterwards.
Because literally you could take the water and just put it on your skin, and then right after there's no more water. I mean, that's what for me was just like, whoa. Because I always had this comedy with water. Half my body weight in ounces with water. Yay, that's what we're supposed to do. And I would chug it down quite begrudgingly. But for the first time, it's like all the time, people always laugh at me. They're like, you're forever drinking. And everyone who ends up after they start drinking the water, we all just keep drinking because your body feels so much better. It's almost like, yes, what I've needed all my life. Our body's biggest call is typically for water. Most of us who overeat, we're overeating because we're mistaking the call for water for a call for food. Hugely different. And your body needs to get properly hydrated, whereby it can run and function properly.
Right. I do agree with that for sure. I know even myself, I'm always known to drink my calories because I don't really desire to eat a lot, and despite what people think, people see a plus size sister and they think she must eat a lot. However, no, stress can also, help you get some thick thighs.
A lack of sleep and not having enough protein as well as having toxins in our system is our biggest reason for that toxic swell. I have right here what has become one of my favorite friends. We chuckle, which is KVB, and same company base, but it has 19 grams of protein. Mm-hmm. That has changed my world because I can literally just take a scoop, put it in water, and unlike a lot of these other things that I wouldn't keep doing, the protein itself stops me from caring about food. And so I'm not having to worry about thinking only thing I drink now is water. I'll end up drinking, we have a matcha tea. I'll take those and I'll throw them in with this right here, which is called Siaga. And I used to be the sugar drinker. You talking about drinking calories? If it was any kind of cappuccino, smoothie, any excuse for getting some kind of beverage that had some sweet, that was my sin of choice, I guess. But now I always chuckle because it's like the person I was to who I am now. I'm like, wow, but when your body gets what it's been craving, which is really good nutrition, good water, the rest of it becomes a joke. And then sleep. I mean, I have never in my time, and we were talking about it earlier, ever really thought that the importance of sleeping that 6+ hours mattered so much, because I functioned in my mind pretty good. But when I got my first night's sleep on the sleep system, I realized like I can't go back. I remember it was another friend of ours, and I had loaned a part of which is my seat out. And I remember thinking to myself, like, after a week and a half later, post car accident, all of my symptoms had gone after using the tools. I started feeling my neck hurting. It was like, I'm not doing that again. I'm not loading out my only thing of that always worked. Because when you start realizing like these problems that I used to have don't happen anymore, like, like, I'm sorry. There used to be a commercial, like, I'm sorry, you got to get your own. And it was talking about a music thing. That is exactly how I felt. As a matter of fact, I happen to have it right here. The Kinko Touch was the thing that I ended up using when my neck was hurting so bad, when I didn't have my seat, because I always typically sit on my seat.
Wow.
Big difference. But it's reconnecting back with the energy of the earth, the sun, and magnetic. So when you realize it, it's kind of like, well, that's kind of common sense. Like grounding. That was something that I knew in theory that I should always do. I would always do it. My husband would always laugh because he's like, you do not know what's in these other people's grass. He's like, it's cool when you do it at home, but when we go on vacations, you don't know what they have. And so it would become a joke. But now we actually even have a grounding pad. So I'm grounding right while I'm talking to you on the phone. No big deal. I can ground wherever, and I don't have to worry about, like, a lot of people, they have seasonal issues. So they'll be fine with being grounded when they can go to the beach or when they can go to certain places and be able to walk out barefoot. But then when it comes into the colder months, then they start getting other issues that start creeping up. Well, long story short, it's because they're not getting the benefits of grounding. But when you can ground all year long, you don't have those problems anymore. Hugely different. Hugely.
So now, what about some people may argue, just like the way people will argue about the antibacterial gel and how, when people went into the hand sanitizer craze, people were like, oh, don't do that because you're making the germs stronger and you're just going to make yourself unable to actually fight off the germs. Your immune system weaker to the germs that are around and to the germs that are progressing. So what about the adaptation? What about human DNA adapting to the earth and the life cycle in which it lives? Do you think at all that if someone gets so used to being constantly grounded, which first of all, it is an absolute excellent thing, but just as a question, if someone gets so used to being grounded or someone gets so used to having a certain type of water, are they going to go somewhere else if they don't have that same water, drink a different type of water and get sick faster probably?
That's a good question. So I have had experiences already where I'm in a good situation and when I'm not in a good situation. Your body is naturally designed to stay connected with how the Creator made us, which is to be connected to the energy of the earth, the energy of magnetics, and to have good water. So it's kind of the equivalent of saying, so should we stay with poison? And is it okay to keep doing poisonous things in hopes of? So I get the logic of it. Whereas on the opposite end, when you use the example with the antibacterial, that's actually taking something that's good that we need. So I'm super duper duper antibacterial hand sanitizers and stuff, because you're destroying the good. Whereas, like, for example of this has both pre and probiotics. So we're not talking about taking anything away. We're actually talking about nurturing your body's natural ability. Everything is just supporting what the Creator naturally gave us. So I always make the silly comedy of kind of like the tires. If you have just one tire, well, how's the car going to ride if you just had one? So it's important for us to be balanced and for us to stay balanced. And so, of course, whenever we throw ourselves out of balance, there's going to always be a price to pay physiologically with some level of imbalance. But there's no reason to not always keep what you need to stay balanced. It's not like it's rocket science hard. Just keep your tools with you, keep living your best life, and keep it going. It's no reason to not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why I love it. Like, so the water bottle, we were at a festival type thing. So we're walking around and I wanted something to drink, and they had no real like healthy any options or what have you. So I was able to just pour that stuff that I would never drink right in here. And then I had my good mineralized water that's healthier for me, that's properly pH balanced, that has all the good microclustered, as opposed to sitting there drinking something that I know is bad, that's going to have a whole bunch of endocrine disruptors and all of that. I think it's just that we don't tend to know the level to which the stuff that we've taken as normal is really creating our dis-ease. Like, if we just realize that these companies are marketing us death styles, I think then we back up and really reassess. Like, no, they don't like us. They literally are trying to profit from making us have pain. And that to me is just beyond diabolical, and why we have to stand up and say, no, that's okay. And if you notice, like the BPA thing, it's only because people in the health craze were buying these plastics thinking they were doing something positive, and then somebody was a whistleblower and let them know BPA, but there's still 24,000 other chemicals. So if you just are identifying one, but you still left me with all the rest of them, you haven't done anything for my health, really. You're just going on the fad of awareness. You see where I'm going? And so we've got to get to a point that we say, no, life originally, if you think about it, originally you had dirt floors. You were connected to the magnetism of the earth. But it's now that we've gotten these bourgeois lifestyles, whatever version of modern we think this is, that's where being disconnected from how the Creator designed us to be, that's causing us all these issues. Scary.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're moving basically further and further away from our natural selves and being natural, true human beings.
Yes.
I don't know what we are now, but
and paying a huge price for it. With the wellness not being intact, and it's scary.
Well, I always make
I didn't anticipate being just at the time 21, having all these, and it kept creeping up, because I was, during my undergrad years, I'm taking 20 some hours every semester, doing what I thought was supposed to be the thing to hurry up and get stuff done so I could do big things. And then, I'm sitting there in just my early 20s, whole body system shutting down, and we're not understanding why. And when doctors are telling you they have no clue, it's like, come on now. But they were quick to say, oh, but we can give you beta blockers. Okay, but you just said you didn't have a diagnosis. So you're going to give me something that has a whole bunch of side effects, but you don't know what it is. So
an issue that you don't even know what it is. Yeah.
Yes. So they're willing to make profit off you. They're willing to experiment.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you look at all the side effects, I can only thank Allah that I had the understanding to say, no, thank you. Thank you for letting me know you don't know. That's great. And this is just, you don't know, you couldn't be doing any better than what I'm going to try to do on my own. And so, when you go back and they're like, oh, wow, you did so good with the medicine. It's like, no, I'm not that kind of fool. didn't do
that. Right. That's not what happened.
Right. But that's after they told you how much better you are. So, okay, well, then what I'm doing clearly must be working.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. So real quick, I just want to take a quick pause to let everyone know that if you just tuned in, thank you for joining us on the Solutions Live broadcast. This is the show where we focus on us minding our own business. And we are here with our guest co-host today, Sister Aziz of BalancedWellnessNews.com. So make sure that you check out her website. That's BalancedWellnessNews.com. Please check out her website. You can even contact her at 571-418-2299. Again, that's 571-418-2299. That's Sister Aziz at BalancedWellnessNews.com. So she's here with us tonight, giving us some nice jewels on the water, and really, it seems like it could be a small topic, but it's so vast because our bodies need water for everything, for every single thing. And people really make it very minuscule on how much we need water. As a midwife, I am constantly reminding my moms that I care for how important it is for them to consume enough water during their pregnancy, which is a whole nother thing, because your womb gets filled with water that your baby lives in for 40 weeks. So this should tell us something about water right there. Okay. So first of all, we start off in water. So Allah made us from dirt, but we start off in water when we're in the womb. Okay. We're in water. And then we come out and our bodies we need to drink water, and then we still have water inside our bodies. That should tell us why water is so very important when it comes to which types of water we're consuming. We should know right there, the fact that we come out of water. Everybody knows that. Everybody sees it on TV. What happens to the mom? Her water breaks.
And the quality of that water determines the quality of the life.
Yes, indeed. And that's the truth. And that's the truth, up and down. So, okay.
And that's why we always stress all four. So nutrition, energy, water, sleep. That's why we say news. Because if you're missing any one of the four, if you don't have bioavailable nutrition, if you don't have energy that's really connected to the energy of the earth, the sun, magnetics, and vitamin G, the grounding. If you don't have quality water that's microclustered, that's mineralized, that's pH balanced, and that's highly filtered. And then if you don't have sleep, that's restorative. We then are out of balance. So the only way to not be out of balance is to have each of those four tires: nutrition, energy, water.
Energy, water, sleep. I like that. I might have to write that on my wall.
Yes.
Some of my followers and viewers know that I like to write affirmations all over my walls. They're everywhere. Literally, we had an issue with unfortunately a few days ago where EMT had to come into the house, and so they were like, "Hey, I like all the affirmations you guys got around," in the middle of what he was doing. It's like, I think I'm going to do that.
So it's important for the mind.
I would love to add that.
Yeah, it's important for the mind because your subconscious mind is constantly feeding on everything that it's seeing. So yeah, that's awesome. Absolutely. That's a brilliant way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to remind our viewers again, we have news. So it's nutrition, energy, water, and sleep. You need quality in all four of those areas. That's what Sister Aziz just told us. I hope you guys are taking notes because this is very important. This is very serious for our health. So those water bottles are so dope. First of all, now I want one. Can you tell us, because our people, unfortunately, we have a little issue with spending money on things that we need, unfortunately.
But we spend more
the biggest consumers. We're the biggest consumers in the world on BS, nonsense, constantly, right? All the things that we could think of that are poisonous to our minds, our bodies, our spirits, the energy that flows through us, our progeny, our wealth, everything. It's just, we buy all the wrong things.
Yes.
This one time, guys, let's all invest. If we can't buy nothing else, can everybody buy a water bottle from Sister Aziz? So let's talk about the water bottle. Let's start small, and then tell us, just, you don't have to give the exact prices. You're a businesswoman and you're in business, and we don't expect you to be anything less than that. But what's the price range that people would pay for water
everything
bottles?
We do, and actually, so in case either whether it's this one or this one, both of them end up working out to literally just cents a gallon. So we're not talking expensive at all.
Oh,
you're literally only talking about every 90 days, just changing out the actual filters. Super cheap, super easy. You're actually paying less than everybody who's going and buying all the toxic alternatives.
Wow.
So I am probably the biggest comedy everyone always laughs, because I always am servant first. So it was because this served me so well that I ended up realizing, okay, I got to remember that I don't love for everybody else unless I love for everybody else what I love for me. And so that's what made us focus in on, okay, because literally everybody was hounding me because they could see the difference and they could see changes that were really instrumental. And they saw different people who we were helping. And they were like, come on now. She went into labor at 16 weeks. She got a baby here that's alive. What did y'all do? And it was simple. She listened and followed the nutrition, energy, water, sleep. And at the end, and then so as the numbers kept increasing, everyone's like, come on, what are we doing? What are we doing? So when you know there's a problem, I've always just been the person that let's try to find the solution. And then when we find the solution, let's replicate the solution. And then everyone always says, you're trying to save the world. I'm like, well, if you call it that, but not by myself. We want to have lots of people working together, connected, collaboratively, helping to serve our people. Because our people don't want to be sick. I mean, I sit on panels all the time previously, and people get mad now because I'm just like, I'm done talking about the problem unless we want to talk about the solution. I don't want to keep talking about health inequities and wealth inequities. It's a wasted conversation. Let's talk about solutions to the health inequities and the wealth inequities. And they're so easily tangible, huge in terms of change.
Yeah. And you know what? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I cut you off?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay. Every now and then it'll be like a little lag in the in the audio to the visual, and I'll still see you talking, but I'm like, wait, I don't hear anything. So this is phenomenal. I lost my train of thought, but I know roughly what I wanted to say. Is that we're spending a lot of money on all the wrong things, like I mentioned before, right? So if we can, first of all, 10 cents a gallon. First of all, it's at least $1 a gallon for a regular old whatever water from the market. And I always remind people, because I have a lot of friends. Everybody's got a lot of friends that has a spring water preference, and it's got to be this brand or that brand. And I'm always like, it doesn't matter. None of them are regulated. And then when I found out years ago, instead of buying those $3-4 little 16-ounce or 1.5 liter bottles of real water or alkaline waters, that it was like, I think I might have paid $5 for a little teeny bottle of alkaline drops and put it in my gallon of water. Okay, same thing.
Or even to take it a lime. I mean, some of the things that people pushed, I'm just like, why? And I can remember when some of that stuff first started coming into our community and people were trying to tell me, can you please help us? And, it's thousands of dollars. I'm like, come on, my people don't have that kind of money. And the fact you try to convince, stop. Just stop.
Right. And that is another issue too, because if we already have so many of our people in a mindset of, I don't want to spend that kind of money on something that's going to benefit me, as that's the reality of what it is, then I hate to say it, but it's almost like we got to make sure that we're giving them something that's going to be semi-affordable. And I don't mean it has to be $1, right? Because people have more than $1 in their pocket. The biggest excuse that some of our people use is that I ain't got it, but that's not true. However, we know when we talk about, helping our elders, we can even talk about our elders who are on fixed incomes, and a lot of them are, that's for sure. Being able to provide them with something that can possibly extend their life, especially the elders who are going through different physical ailments and diseases, because they don't have proper access to better and more nutritional foods, waters, beverages, and so on. And a lot of them don't have enough family to take care of them. But if they were able to have access to something as simple as good water, that's actually going to, what you say, put the good stuff in and take the bad stuff out.
Right.
You know, then that can improve their quality of health just right there.
And we get to see it every day. I mean, and that's the part that blows me away. I was chuckling because I was on a call with a lady, and she was talking about her own experience. She's a Caucasian woman, and when I think of Caucasian older women in her age bracket, I'm typically expecting them to be rolled over, hunchback. And so I was trying to understand why some of these Caucasian women who I was looking at did not look like that, though they were quite old in the number of years. And it was really cool. They were utilizing the osteodents and the joint and the water and the sleep tools that we have. All the nutrition, energy, water, sleep, that's what they had been doing for the last 20, 30 years. And you could see it. And so one of them, she had me rolling because she was like, yeah, I remember when they had measured me and then they took the after, I had grown back 4 inches. And I kind of was like, whoa, because, you know, we as Black people, we tend to age much better. So I'm thinking, if we have things that could fix you to grow back,
it's like, over for us. It's like the fountain of youth, you know? Just water. Drink good water.
Yes. So it lets us know, you know, nutrition, energy, water, sleep, it works when we have it. And we just have to let our people know how easy it is to do. I mean, it's really not a rocket science thing. We have people who are actually coming off dialysis, you know, those issues that you think never have solutions to. We have people who used to take the asthma pump regularly. And all they're doing is just simply utilizing the power band all the time, insoles, water bottle, and making sure they use the sleep tool. I mean, to me, that's huge. You used to be in the hospital regularly, had so bad that you had GI bleeds. And now you haven't been to the hospital in how long?
Wow.
So I chuckle when I listen to people say that they don't want to invest in getting what they need, because I'm saying, well, then if you don't, you just want to die. And I remember years ago doing a disaster preparedness training. And I remember one of the persons saying that, you know, people are just going to die if they don't do. And I was like, well, you know, that's really harsh, you know, when we say it like that to our people. And now I'm actually worse. I'm saying if we don't choose to do what we need to do, we are going to die. And at this point, we deserve what we get, sadly enough, because we have an opportunity to live our best lives if we want to just come out of the foolishness. People are profiting from our pain. Stop letting them. If we would stop letting them, we would have so much more abundance. And it's scary when I'm watching people who are generating lifestyles that are living, you know, a real balanced wellness life, making sure that you're taking care of relationships properly, your relationship with you, your mind first, your body, your family, your community, your finances. If you don't have each of those 5 pillars of wellness, it's going to be off balance. And that's where I think we're harmed the most. Because you'll listen to us and we say these things and we think it sounds good to say how little sleep we got or how we didn't eat or how we didn't drink. And you kind of just look at folk like, that wasn't a good idea. Or, oh, you know, money is not my priority. Or, oh, family isn't my priority. And it's like, well, each of those areas are important. And if you don't have each of those areas in balance, then you're going to be imbalanced. So it's either balanced wellness or off balance. So you only have 2 choices. And I think that's where a lot of it we perpetuate, not even being conscious of it. It's this feeling that we somehow, and it's scary to witness it, but when we instead say, okay, I'm going to approach life in a space of gratitude. I'm going to approach life with a space of being open and teachable and embrace the abundance. Guess what? The abundance comes. Hugely different when we just do that minor shift. It's major, but it doesn't take a whole lot. That's why when you were talking about the writings, I was like, yes, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. Because we have 2 minds. We have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. But the subconscious mind is the one that has the most power.
Right. Now, one of the cool things, speaking of water, that I was actually doing before was I was taking my whole packs of water bottle. I still do it, but on and off. I'm not as consistent. It's kind of hard to stay consistent to do this, to be honest with you, because I have so much going on. However, I I need to just be more progressive, more productive, and less excuses. And so I was taking the water bottles, and when I get the whole 24 pack, I'll write affirmations on every single water bottle.
Yes.
And then one of the theories that I hold firm to, I believe in the theory of quantum jumping. It's when you take the water bottle, you write down on one of the water bottles or the glass or whatever you're going to pour it into, you're going to write exactly what you want, whatever you want to affirm for yourself. You write what you want to affirm, you pour the water into the thing, into the bottle or the glass, and then you drink that, okay? Also, we know that water is affected by negative and positive energy. So a lot of times we don't think about the things that we speak over our food even, and over our juice or our waters when we consume things. This is why you hear some of the old school men would say how their woman cooked with love versus cook with hate. You know, you used to hear the great grandmoms and aunties say, don't do her hair if you got a nasty attitude, because energy is transferable. And even when it comes to the things that we consume, whether it's beverage or whether it's food. So in that case, my ideology was, if I write all these positive affirmations or all of my waters, and every time I consume water, I'm consuming something that's going to put more positive energy back into my body and back into my soul and into my energy and everything about myself. So even though I didn't have the great water that Sister Aziz is speaking of, that was the solution that I came up with for myself at the time. And I can tell you that actually the waters taste different.
Oh yeah.
The same case of water we had downstairs. We had another case of the same brand downstairs in the kitchen. And then I had another one. I just keep a case in my bedroom. I drink a lot of water. Just keep it in my bedroom. So I had another one in my bedroom where I wrote all the affirmations and different things. Whatever it was. It could have been love. It could have been I love me. It could have been like alhamdulillah. It could have been I am healthy, which is one of my affirmations. It could have been I deserve good. All of my affirmations. I have all these affirmations. Yeah. Anybody who ever comes into my house, in my room, or anything, they're like, wow, they're just, it's like I vomit affirmations everywhere. So anyway, so they're all over the water bottles, and the water tastes different.
Oh yeah.
From the other waters. And if something so simple as speaking something positive or writing something positive, water can change the energy and the microgenetics, if you will, of the water. Just those are just words. Then I can only imagine what's going to happen once you put the magnetism back into the water and the proper ions back into the water and all the proper minerals back into the water and filter out all the chemicals. That's got to be like some superpower X-Men type water.
Oh yeah, because your body actually pulls for salt first from the water. Well, excuse me, the minerals first from the water, second from salt. So most of us, we miss the first two places that your minerals should come from. And we're not making the connection, because a lot of us, we still use this bleach stuff and we call it salt, and it's like, that's not salt. And so I always chuckle when you'll hear, you know, medical model of care people telling people don't use salt. And I'm like, no, actually she needs
real salt. The lack of salt can actually cause high blood pressure. And I have to tell people that all the time. A lot of people think that if you have salt in your diet and you have high blood pressure, you have to alleviate all the salt. And we actually have a lot of our people who believe that, and they take they rid themselves of all the salt, and they end up having more issues with their blood pressure. So it's just the lack of information. I mean, one of the things that one of the my dear midwives, Granny Midwives, says all the time is that people don't, and it's unfortunate because they start to believe whatever the doctors and the hospitals and the healthcare industry tells them, but people forget that those people are in business to make money off of your dis-ease and discomforts.
Oh yeah. And it's scary because they're new. They're not even something that have been in existence very long. And we act as if they know. And it's like, you don't see that we are in a worse condition now than we were. I mean, historically, we didn't have 10 to 12 times as many Black women and their babies dying. That wasn't our lot in life. But it's only post going in and joining in this medical model of care over our, what should be wellness. Instead, it's just creating disease and epidemics and all kinds of just horrid cases of things that really are creating crisis. in our community, when in fact, we had our healers among us. You know, we knew, I mean, you look back at our healing traditions, we had food that was not food. We ate garbage. And we still somehow knew how to make it seem as though it was medicinal. You talk about praying over garbage. Right. And we were able to keep a whole community sustained off of scraps. I mean, just to think of the resilience in that. It's huge. Wow. Huge.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, as we are coming to a closing of the show, before we go off air, I just want you to, in your own words, give us some quick last minute tips on maybe whether it's your favorite products that you carry, or if it's a couple little health tips, whatever, you know, give us 1 to 3 quick health tips. And also, one last time, tell us where people can reach you. How can they get in touch with you for your products or just consultation, whatever they need. Please let the people know.
Yes, I'd love to be honored to. You know, I think what's most important is for us all to know that wherever we are now is not somewhere we have to stay. Where you are now is just where you are at the current time. But the point is to be ready and be open to have change. And when we're ready for change, then just be ready to embrace the abundance. So we're here to serve. We have an amazing group of people who are all committed to help everyone with their balance, wellness objectives. And I think that's the thing that I love the most, is that it's not just my mind. We have so many people who are collaborating with us. And that's what I think is what's most vital, because we have so many gifts and talents within our community. And so I always enjoy helping to train up more people, because we've got a big community to serve. And, you know, the only way we're going to do that is to really increase the circle, widen the circle, because I hate just being the person who people think, okay, well, she can whip it up for me. No, I want there to be a whole cadre of us all over. And that's what we're working to develop multinationally, whereby we can serve everyone. It's very easy to text us at 571-418-2299. It's balancedwellnessnews.com or growcommunitywellness.com. And we look forward to serving everybody with their nutrition that's bioavailable, energy that's really what we were connected to in the beginning, whereby you can get reconnected back with the earth's magnetism, the earth's energy of the sun, the vitamins of the air. Super important. Water that's real water. Huge. And sleep. I mean, I cannot impress enough that that's when our bodies repair. So we've really got to get back to balance, because the other option isn't really an option. It means we're checking up out of here in a really painful way.
Wow. So you heard Sister Aziz. She gave it to you. She told you like it is. She gave you solutions, which is what this show is about right here. Solutions. We will find solutions continuously to the issues and the ailments and the diseases and discomforts that plague us in our communities. We have a job to do for ourselves and for our families and for our communities, and we have to get it done yesterday. We are in a state of emergency. There is no option, like Sister Aziz just said, there is no option for us to become better and to do better and to make better decisions and become informed. We must speak up for ourselves, do better, show our children and our families better, and lead the people. We have to. And so just to kind of veggie back a little off of what Sister Aziz said, I actually have an affirmation that kind of goes with the flow of what she just said, which is, I am not my current circumstances. You are not your current circumstance. So where you are now, you don't have to be there tomorrow. That's not where you have to be next week, next month, next year. You have the power, you have the right, and you have the free will to make a conscious decision to be in a different place tomorrow if you just do something different today. Remember the slight edge theory? That's the theory in which you do small, little, teeny, consistent changes every single day to get you to your ultimate goal. Every last one of us can make a decision to either drink a better water or to keep drinking the stuff that we drink that's not helping us. It's not conducive to our health. It's not conducive to making us better, healthier elders, being able to be around our great grandchildren. We can live longer if we want to. If it's Allah's plan for us, we can. we have the power to at least make sure that we're healthy enough to do so. So all of the ideology behind everyone wants to get the money. Everybody want to go get this bread. Everybody wants to go make those millions. Listen, if you're not healthy enough to enjoy it, you just going to die and somebody else going to take your money. Okay, so let us be more reflective and let us be more conscious about what we do with our bodies, what we consume, starting with myself. I speak to myself first. I will be contacting Sister Aziz and getting my water bottle.
Got you covered.
So I can post online, so I can tell you guys how I'm loving it and what's going on and how I'm feeling it. And so I appreciate and I love you, Sister Aziz. Thank you so much for coming on the show, for telling us about your products, for giving us so many jewels. Sometimes we just need to hear it over and over again because you know we're hard-headed, we don't listen, especially us new generation folks and the people underneath me and the people underneath them. Nobody listens, so we need to hear it over and over again. So maybe we even have you back on the show again, just a reminder. Just let us know again. Yeah. So thank you everyone who has been tuned in tonight watching the Solutions Live show. Please click like and subscribe. Please, please, please. We want you to subscribe to our channel. You can set up your notifications so that you can be reminded when we're going on air. We are on air every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Solutions Live. This is the show where we focus on us minding our own businesses, the home of 500 Black-owned businesses. We want to advertise 500 Black-owned businesses before 2019 is out. So please contact us so we can advertise for you at 856-514-1418. Again, that's 856-514-1418. 1418. Please also make sure that you reach out to Sister Aziz. I'm gonna tell you one last time at balancedwellnessnews.com. Please contact her. Please contact her. Please contact her. Your homework this week is to get a water bottle. If you don't get anything else, start with a water bottle. I'm asking you to start with the littlest thing. If you're a person who's going to say, I can't afford nothing else, start with the water bottle. You know, start with the water bottle and go from there. Okay.
And it's actually really easy and affordable to do something from each: nutrition, energy, water, sleep. Super simple.
Awesome.
Very affordable.
So you guys heard it. You heard it from Sister Aziz herself. Just let's get on it. So again, thanks everyone for watching and tuning in. This is Solutions Live, and we look forward to seeing you all back here next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you all. Thanks for watching. Have a good night's peace. Assalamu alaikum. Greetings to all. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Sister Aziz.
Family.